Hey y'all, welcome to Prepper Friday. I'm Gray Madden from Self-Reliance Publishing, and today we're going to be talking about choosing a handgun from a prepper perspective, or choosing a handgun for a class. Now, before I get started in this, I want to point out that this is going to be a controversial topic simply because I'm talking about firearms. And firearms are a very hot topic. On a large scale, you got people who are very pro-Second Amendment, and you've got people who think that guns should be banned entirely. If you're watching this video, chances are you are friendly towards guns, and that's great. But even gun people have a hard time agreeing with each other when it comes to firearms. Everybody has their opinions, and very few people are willing to agree to disagree. So at the beginning, I want to point out that it's okay for you not to share my opinion on this matter. You can look at the same set of data, the same factors, and draw a different conclusion. You might weigh certain factors more heavily than others, and that will lead you to draw a different conclusion, and that's perfectly fine. So if you agree with me, feel free to let me know in the comments. If you disagree, feel free to let me know in the comments and share with me what you think the best option is and why you would pick it. I will say that there's no such thing as perfection in this world. There's no such thing as a perfect car, there's no such thing as a perfect woman, and there's no such thing as the perfect firearm. So it's all about balance. It's all about balancing the characteristics you're looking for and choosing what's right for you. I believe that handguns are an important aspect of your arsenal from a prepper perspective for the simple reason that they are extremely portable, they are easily concealable, and you can have one on you at all times. We can all agree that they lack power and they lack accuracy when you compare them to their long arm counterparts. And so that they're at a disadvantage, certainly at the power, from a power perspective. Generally, handguns, quite frankly, suck when it comes to power. If you look at the data, it takes on average 2 shots or 2 hits to stop a threat. So if you are in a self-defense situation, you're going to have to plan on hitting that person 2 times in order to stop them, pretty much regardless of the caliber you're using. But that just kind of goes along with the territory. Accuracy is inherently less accurate than a long gun, but if you work on your marksmanship and you work on your skills with a pistol, you can work to diminish that and you can up your accuracy. So that's something that can be overcome to a certain extent. So just based off of the simple fact that you can have one on you at all times, I basically am armed just about whenever I leave the house, and even when I'm at home most of the time. Just for that simple reason, I believe that handguns have a high priority in a prepper's arsenal and should be probably one of your first purchases if you are new to firearms and just looking to make your first purchase. So with that said, let's talk about some factors that you should consider when it comes to choosing a handgun from a prepper's mindset. And some of the factors that I'm going to consider are going to be versatility, reliability, ease of maintenance, and caliber availability. So those are sort of the factors that I look at and what help weigh my my choices. And my personal choice is a 357 revolver with a 4-inch barrel. I actually recently switched to this. I just purchased this about 2 months ago maybe, and I switched over to this as a daily carry. This one's a Ruger GP100. It's a 6-shot version. It's a dual action. These things are known to be incredibly tough and reliable, and that reputation is one of the reasons that I chose to pick it. Now, the reason I went with a 357 revolver with a 4-inch barrel is the incredible versatility that it has. With that handgun, I can reasonably hunt anything from small game to large game, and I can use it for self-defense and home defense. Now, it might not be necessarily ideal for all of those things. With versatility comes diminished performance in certain categories, and that's just a fact of life. It's hard to get around that. It doesn't matter what it is that you're dealing with. If you value versatility, you're going to have to give up performance in certain categories. So while it's a viable defense weapon, it is rather large. It weighs 40 ounces empty, and so it's a heavy gun to carry around all day. I've been carrying it every day for about a month now, and I have no issue with it. It doesn't bother me at all, but if you're sensitive to that weight, then you might have trouble getting used to it. It's also, I work for a gun-friendly employer, so if they see a bulge, they know I'm carrying a gun, and it's not a big deal. If you were to have a less gun-friendly employer, where you can't take the chance of them guessing that you have a firearm, then this might not be your best bet to carry with you on your person every day. So it is a rather large gun and a large platform, but the capacity is rather small for its size. It's only got 6 shots, which again I am able to justify and live with considering its versatility, because if you look at statistics of gunfights, civilian gunfights, both with pure T civilians, also those involving police, the average number of shots fired in a gunfight is actually pretty small. That the number is around 3 shots or so. So at 6 shots, I'm twice the average. If I have a speed loader or speed strips, I could have a couple of speed strips in my pocket and have 18 rounds on me. And that would be more than adequate to mitigate just about any circumstance you'll find yourself in, that you will realistically find yourself in anyways. So it's a reasonable defense weapon. It's a good hunting weapon as well. With light loads, you can hunt small game. The bullets aren't going to expand when it hits a rabbit or a squirrel, and so it's going to leave a caliber size hole going through it. So it's not going to cause as much meat destruction as you might think. Based off of my research, I honestly don't have a whole lot of field time with this gun yet. Like I said, I just purchased it 2 months ago after thinking about it for a very long time, and I've got about a month carrying it. I haven't hunted with it yet, but I will certainly this coming year, so I look forward to that. But based off of everything I've read, you're not going to see too much meat destruction with a low power 38 shot out of this gun. So you can hunt small game with it. You can reasonably hunt deer size game, and with a proper bullet, some people will take it up to larger game as well and hunt black bear and game of that sort. So you can hunt a large range of animals with this one firearm. So it's a very versatile weapon, and that's one of the main reasons I like it. It's also a very reliable weapon. I'm not saying it can't break or it won't break, but it's less prone to it than most of your semi-automatics. Likewise with maintenance, it does require some maintenance, but if you don't give it the maintenance that it deserves, it's less likely to fail compared to a semi-automatic. When it comes to ammo availability, as a 357, I have the ability and the capability of shooting both 357 Magnums and 38 Specials. 357 is not what I would call the most readily available cartridge out there, but 38 Special is pretty popular. It's not the 9mm, but it is pretty popular. You can go into any Walmart and have multiple selections of 38 Special. So it's a fairly readily available round. It passes the Walmart ammo test, which is something that I find very important when it comes to choosing a firearm. I have to be able to purchase at least a handful of options of ammo at any given Walmart that I walk into, or I'm not really interested in that firearm. So once again, there's no such thing as a perfect weapon. This is certainly not perfect, but I do think that it's a good option. It's a very versatile option, and I've been really happy with it. It's a joy to shoot, in my opinion. There's some trade-ins for its versatility. It's got a lower capacity and it's heavier than many guns that are better suited for self-defense, but it's adequate at self-defense. It might not be the best weapon for hunting small game, but it's adequate for hunting small game. Again, it might not be the best choice for black bear, or large game in general, but it's an adequate weapon for doing that, assuming you do your part. I think a good double action 357 revolver with a 4-inch barrel is a good bet for any prepper or anybody of the prepper mindset. So I hope you got something out of this video. I'd like to hear your thoughts on the matter. Let me know what your pick is and why you picked it. As always, I appreciate every like, every comment, and every subscribe. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.